Welcome everybody to the end of season 5. Today will determine if we finish the season today or if we come back tomorrow to see how we get on in the playoffs. We are currently in 7th place, hanging on to that final spot by our fingertips. But today we take on 9th place Notts County, who can still beat us to that position. And then for our final game, we will take on Eastleigh. Let's do this. Let's see what happens today. Welcome everybody to another episode of Dog Turds into Diamonds. We are here turning Dog Turds into Diamonds with AFC Rushden and Diamonds. And you can see, since you were last here, we have just played a couple of games. We have avoided defeat and we are still in the last playoff spot. But we've got two massive games today. The first one against Notts County, who are 4 points behind us. We can eliminate them from the playoff discussion with a win today. And then we take on Eastleigh away from home in the final game to try and secure that spot. But Scunthorpe are hot on our heels. They are really going strong. They are the form team. If we go and take a look at the schedule, again, we've only played these two games, but yeah, when you were last here, we were on that horrible run. We have lost our last 3 games away from home before we actually then played Kidderminster, and we were maybe lucky not to make it 4. We took on Woking straight after losing away at Bromley. Really good performance. Our home form is not an issue at all. We are playing really well at home. It's our home form that has saved us and kept us in the playoff spots. Joe Hardy here was in inspired form. 2 goals for him. Another assist for Gibbs, who has been absolutely fantastic in the number 10 role. The non-league Iniesta. As we know, he does not get enough goals, but he is really turning in the performances in terms of assists now. And a Lee Brown penalty as well made it very comfortable. Really pleasing game. We didn't play James Price in this one. Joe Hardy was just on absolutely great form, as was Ronan Curtis playing on the right wing. We then went away to Kidderminster, and the great thing with these 2 games is that we had a huge amount of rest time in between games, as we have had before we take on Notts County. It's made a huge difference. We don't now have those players that are needing a rest, or if they do need a rest, they get it. It's just really helped to keep the squad fresh, keep everybody ready for the next game. Prior to that, the last couple of months have just been absolutely insane. We've been just really changing the team up every single game, making all sorts of changes, just trying to get fit players onto the field. We are now over that problem as we end the season, and Kidderminster here, we went away. In a sense, it was unfortunate not to win because we were 2-0 up in 7 minutes. Let's have a look at these goals, because the second one in particular was a bit special. Thomas Hughes put us ahead early on with a Reeves assist, and it was Reeves who then scored from range one of the goals of the season. Take a look at this. So a great early start, 6th minute of the game. What a pass from Reeves. Hughes tucks it away. His 10th goal of the season. He's been superb again, Thomas Hughes, to finish up this season. And then look at that hit. What a strike from Reeves, but it was short-lived. Just a few minutes later, they get a cross in. Sinclair makes it 2-1. And in the second half, Cundall, who we offered a contract to in the summer, getting a cross in, and Sinclair pops up at the back post to make it 2-2. They also missed a penalty, so we could have very easily lost the points here. So I was really pleased to get out with a point. It was a better away performance than we have had, but still disappointing. We are still really, really shaky away from home, which doesn't bode well for, first of all, Eastleigh away, and then if we get there, the playoffs, because we are going to be one of the away teams in the playoffs. I've really got to think about how I go about turning that away form round, whether it maybe needs a formation change, because it really isn't working to just keep doing the same thing. But first of all, today we've got to get into this one. We've got to deal with Notts County. They are a very, very good team. They are 4 points behind us. They were tipped for promotion at the start of the season. They haven't achieved what was expected of them, but it tells you what their quality is like. And then Scunthorpe, who are just on an incredible run of form, they are playing at home against 11th place Barnet. Now Barnet they've had a tough time of it, but I really hope they can turn in a performance and maybe just maybe get a point off of Scunthorpe in that one. If we could beat Notts County and Scunthorpe don't win, then the final game against Eastleigh doesn't matter. We would be in the playoffs. So really, that's what we've got to hope for. Cheltenham have slipped away as well. They're still 5 points behind us. They've still got a chance. They're at home against Eastleigh, but hopefully we can put them out of the question with this game as well. Gloucester are confirmed champions, and Swindon Town, who we beat on the opening day of the season and spent the first half of the season in the bottom half, they've just come on an incredible run through the second half of the season and now sit in second place. They have been absolutely sensational. They would be a team that we would not want to face in the playoffs, but first we've got to get there. Let's go forward and I'll show you the team that we are looking to set up for this game. They are playing, a 5-2-1-2. I think it's a formation that we can deal with. I think we can set up to kind of take advantage of this, but they are a very, very strong team, and with those three players up front, they are going to cause us problems. Now, this is the way I'm looking at setting up. We have got our back four that has played the last two games, did very, very well in our last home game. So it's Sam Blair in goal, Lee Brown and Bailey Clements at fullback, Gabadebo and George Ray at centre-back. Now, Sam Blair, Gabadebo and George Ray have all signed new contracts for next season, which I'm very, very pleased about. There are also some other players that have signed up for next season. I've got Jake Reeves playing as a deep line playmaker on defend. He is just a sensational player. I'm still not decided whether I give him a contract for next season. But, he really is a class above anything else we've got in midfield. He's started to play very, very well. He's got 2 assists and a goal in his 7 appearances. I think with his 11 tackling and his 12 passing, I think he really suits that role in the midfield there. Yeah, I think we're lucky to have him, and he's really helping give us that push on to the end of the season. So he is going to be partnered by, now I've put Jack Earing in. I'm not really sure if that's the man I want. He has dropped off a lot with the lack of training the past 2 seasons. We'll see how he gets on. Joe Hardy is on the right wing, Thomas Hughes on the left. I put Hardy there because I want to bring James Price back in at striker. So with Hardy and James Price both on the field, I've got my 2 top goal scorers. Thomas Hughes also has a lot of goals, and Liam Gibbs in the number 10 role is our top assister for the season. On the bench right now, we've got Jay Williams, Ryan Croasdale, who can come in and shore up the defence. And you know what? I think I'm actually going to make a change because I want to change formation because of their formation. So I'm going to bring Croasdale in there. I'm going to swap Reeves and Croasdale, and then I'll show you what we're going to do in a minute. I'm going to have Croasdale as a defensive ball-winning midfielder. And, so now on the bench, we've got Jay Williams, Jack Earing, Matt Butcher, Waltman and Curtis. Now, do I bring in any of the other options I've got on the bench here? I think I'm going to leave it at that. I do have Jack Brown if I wanted a more attacking midfield option. someone with a bit more technique than Jack Earing. Jack Earing he doesn't convince me anymore. He's just lost so much over his 2 years. I am going to bring Jack Brown in. Jack Brown, I think, has already confirmed that he's going to leave in the summer. He hasn't really played this season. I can't blame him. He's a club legend. But that will be the team that we're going to send into this game. So Ryan Crosdale, back off injury, hasn't really got a lot of fitness, but I think I need him because Isaac Smith is suspended. He picked up a red card against Kidderminster for 2 bookings. So he is out. I'm hoping just for this game. I hope he's back for Eastleigh. So, yeah, I really need Crosdale to come in. And even though he's not match fit, I need a performance out of him. And what we are going to do here is we're going to pull Ryan Crosdale back into this defensive midfield position. Just get him specifically marking their number 10. Francis Vincent. And then Gibbs from his number 10 position, when we don't have the ball, is going to just come back and mark Joe Evans. That aside, I want to, again, take advantage of the fact that they are playing without wingers. So we are going to play wide. And I think I'm going to play out of defence as well. That may or may not work. I might change that early on, but I'm going to distribute to the fullbacks as well, just to take advantage of the fact that they don't have any wingers on the field. So that is how we set up. Can we get the players motivated? The last few games, they have been very, very motivated in the team talks. Now, our assistant is suggesting the pressure is all on them. I'm going to say we can potentially secure a playoff place. I think that's what we want to get done today. Get that place confirmed. All right, maybe I should have gone with my assistant, but the players all responding with a little bit more specific attention. And everyone apart from Jake Reeves is more than ready to try and get this job done here. So Notts County, it would be great to get this done today and not have to worry about our away form when we go into the Eastleigh game. But they get a corner and they are ahead early on in the game. It was a free header for Tizard. It was an absolute free header. There was absolutely no one on him. He just peeled away. And it's a simple finish that is really disappointing to see. And they now have another highlight. And this is not going well as McKee goes in. Gavadevo sweeps it up. It's away, but only as far as Penny. And now Dawson finding space and Jeffcott. And that is a great save from Sam Blair. That is really poor defending. And their 3 attacking players are causing all sorts of problems, headed away. And we have got to get a grip on this game pretty quick. Let's demand more of the players here. We've now had a shot. We've had a little bit more possession, but not much. We are coming into the game a bit more now. We really need to get into this now. Let's go attacking. This has not been a good performance so far. We are slightly the better team, but we have a really poor XG. I think what I'm going to look to do here is just work the ball into the box, try and get a better quality of chance. And I'm going to go a bit more direct, just with the fact that, so I'm going to stop playing out of defence as well. I'm going to go a little bit more direct, try and catch them on the break a little bit more, hit them before they can get into us. But that has been a really disappointing first half. We have not had a highlight. I'm going to tell them it was not good enough. The players respond, but now we need a performance out of them. We've got to create something here. I'm going to berate the players. This has not been good enough. And Eastleigh, who we play next, are beating Cheltenham. Let's go even wider. And what on earth can I change here? Let's distribute quickly. I just don't know what else to do. I'm going to really try and press them more and all the way up the field. And we're just going to play with a more regular defensive width. And we do now have a free kick by the looks of it. No, we're not going to get to see that. That is annoying. We have not created a single highlight. Let's demand more of these players. Again, we're into the last 20 minutes. What a disappointing performance. What can I change here? What on earth can I change? I'm going to push the fullbacks up higher just by virtue of the fact there's nobody pressing onto them there. I'm going to make them attacking. And do I bring Jay Williams in for Lee Brown? Just with him being a little bit more athletic to get up the field. Neither of them can really play wing back, but I'm going to do it. Or do I even bring on somebody else out of position? If Jay Williams is going to be out of position, then why not just put somebody else there out of position? I'm going to bring Max Waltman on, or maybe Ronan Curtis. He does have better crossing, so I'm going to bring Ronan Curtis in there. It's the same, isn't it? It's the same. And I think what I'm going to do... how do I get a more attacking option up top here? Dear. I mean, I don't know who I would want to bring off. I think... Can Reeves play defensive midfielder? He can. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put Reeves in at defensive midfield and make him a deep line playmaker. And Crowsdale is going to come off for Max Waltman. And what we are going to do here is we're going to bring Hardy as a striker. So we're going to go a really, really odd kind of 2-3-1-2-2. I'm making it up as I go along here. I really am. Let's just have Hardy in as a poacher. We are going to go now counter-attacking, distribute to the striker. We're now going to go more direct, shoot on sight, get those early crosses in. And I feel like there's really nothing else I can do. I'm really throwing caution to the wind now, aren't I? So let's see if this ultra attacking formation can pull something out of the bag for us. Can it produce something? I mean, we have been much the better team, but not a single highlight. Let's encourage the players. Come on, Football Manager, you've got to give me something. We can't have a game with not a single attacking highlight. This is awful. We've got a late chance here to grab a draw. We've still got it, and Waltman has won the penalty. James Price will take it. Come on, Pricey. He's missed it. I don't believe it. It goes back and it's away. Our one highlight of the game, and it's a missed penalty. And Scunthorpe have won. Oh my God. I don't believe it. Oh, Football Manager, how you keep doing this to me. We were not good enough. We are out of the playoff spots. We've got one more game to save this, and we need Scunthorpe to now drop points. I can't believe this has happened. I mean, you look at the stats there, and Notts County were not even in it, were they? Just that early goal. That early goal, and then, I mean, we just didn't have a sniff. In spite of what the stats said, it said we were well on top in the second half. We had a nearly 2 XG, but we just got that one pathetic highlight to look at and a missed penalty, and we are now 8th in the table. This is horrific. An easy win for Scunthorpe. They are the form team. And I believe that Scunthorpe have, I think, a pretty simple last game. Let's have a look and see who Scunthorpe are playing here. Oh man. Our form in the second half of the season, it's gone through the floor. They're away at Bromley. That is a really tough game. You would probably expect Bromley to certainly win that game, if not force a draw out of Scunthorpe. I would not have Scunthorpe to win that last game away at Bromley. So if we can pull out the performance of the season and beat Eastleigh, who are now 14th, you can see. I mean, it's all ifs and buts, isn't it? I mean, I'm just really hoping that everything goes our way. We have got 2 weeks. We've got a long rest. We will be back in 2 weeks, and we will see if we can somehow pull a rabbit out of a hat and get ourselves into these playoffs. Don't go away. Well, welcome back. This is it then. We've done a couple of weeks training. There are no excuses. We are fit and ready to go. It all comes down to this. It's like a cup final to get us into the next round of the cup, if that makes sense. It's win or go home. Away at Eastleigh, our away form has been horrendous, and we have to better Scunthorpe's result. If they win, they are in the playoffs. We have to win, and then we have to hope they at least draw their game against Bromley. This is squeaky bum time, as they say, right? Ah dear. Our form has just tailed off so much over the course of the second half of the season. I'm really not confident. I think if we get there, it'd be incredible. Now let's talk about this, because the first thing you're going to see, right, is I've changed up our formation. I've gone back to the 4-3-1-2. I've ditched the wingers. I just feel like we haven't been scoring enough goals, and we've got to do something to shore up the defence a little bit more. So I'm wondering if playing with 3 midfielders is going to make us a little harder to beat through the middle. So this is the team we are going for. This is the team that has got to get the job done for us. Sam Blair in goal. Lee Brown and Bailey Clements at full-back. Gabadavo and George Ray, the centre-backs. Matt Butcher is going to be in midfield with Jake Reeves as a deep-line playmaker and Thomas Hughes as a Masala. Dropping Hughes back there, he is more than capable of playing that role. Hopefully he can give us a bit of creativity from deep there along with Reeves. Liam Gibbs will play number 10 as always, and James Price and Joe Hardy are going to partner each other up front. Hopefully between the two of them, with Gibbs feeding them, we've got some goals in us. Jay Williams is on the bench, along with Ryan Crosdale, Ronan Curtis, Max Waltman and Lloyd Marsh Hughes is going to come in as the sub-striker if we need to find some goals in the last stages of the game. That is how we are going to set up. They are playing with a number 10 behind a striker, so I may drop Reeves further back and play with a midfield diamond perhaps. We're going to see how that goes. I just don't know what to say. You can probably hear it in my voice. I am just so, I don't know what the word is. I'm kind of disillusioned. I just don't believe that we can do it. I want the boys to prove me wrong, but I kind of feel like away from home we are in such a run of form that I just can't imagine us putting together the performance that we need. But I guess we're going to see. We are certainly capable of getting a result, aren't we? It's just about getting that performance. And away from home in the second half of the season, we have been really, really struggling. Now, I'm not going to move Reeves, but I am going to move him back to mark James Waite, their number 10. That's the only specific defensive marking job that I'm going to set. If we look at how we're playing, do I go for the overlaps? I think playing without wingers, I've got to go for the overlaps. I'm not going to play out of defence though. We're playing with a lot of width. We're distributing to the playmaker. Can we get Reeves on the ball and hopefully have him run the game? I am going to get stuck in as well. So that is where we are. Can we do this? Can we come up with the goods when it is most on the line? We have had 3 seasons now of just constantly winning, and Gibbs is going to be sent off instantly. I don't believe it. We're in the 5th minute. Oh my god. It looked like he won the ball as well, right? In the 3D match engine, he won the ball. Oh man, I guess we've probably got to accept that this is gone, hasn't it? Hopefully we can turn up the performance of the season and they can prove me wrong, as Hardy gets into Price and he's missed a sitter one-on-one. How important might that be? That was a huge chance. Brown with a free kick now, and he puts that over. Well, we've started really well. Let's encourage the players. Scunthorpe are beating Bromley. If that result stays the same, it does not matter what we do here. And now they are in behind us. And it's well saved and well dealt with in the end. Does this highlight continue? It doesn't. Come on, Bromley, do us a favour there. Do I start playing a little bit more direct? Let's demand more from the players. I mean, we cannot complain about their performance right now. They are living with Eastleigh with 10 men. Scunthorpe now 2-1 up. It was an equaliser in the 40th and they went back in front in the 41st. So cruel. Come on, let's try and pump the players up here. Now, do I start playing direct into the strikers rather than the playmaker? I think I've got to. I think we've got to go a bit more direct, go into the strikers, and I guess we've got to shoot on sight, and let's try and pass into space as well. So I'm going to go more direct there, and we're going to see if the players can make this work. Can we just get that one goal that we need? I mean, we have had the possession. They have taken control in terms of the shots as the game has gone on, haven't they? I'm going to go attacking. We've got no choice. In terms of creating chances, it's been another poor game. But I mean, it's understandable. We're playing with 10 men. Can the players just pull something out of the bag? We need to pull a rabbit out of a hat here. They start coming back from our goal kick. They are going to get a cross in. It's in and it's... Oh my goodness. Bailey Clements. He's basically playing his last ever Rushden and Diamonds game here. I am not going to offer him a new contract. And that is how he is signing off. Oh man. Right, what do we do here? I am going to move Thomas Hughes forward into the number 10 position. What on earth earth can we come up with here? Oh man. I'm going to take Thomas Hughes off for Lloyd Marsh Hughes. And I guess I'm going to get Bailey Clements off just as an FU after his mistake. Oh man. And it is another supposedly decent performance. We've had good possession. We've battled hard. But we have not scored the goals. We have failed once again. And they now have the chance to get in with another attack. Of course, we're not playing with any wingers to track those runs from their fullbacks. But Butcher is onto it. Can we create something here on the break? Marsh Hughes, can he find a way through? He can't. We've lost it again, and now they come back at us. And it is game over. The season ends here. Oh man. I can't even watch it. What a disappointment. We've only got ourselves to blame. We have been really, really poor in the second half of the season. No doubt about it. It's a really poor performance. Even playing with 10 men. Unlucky boys. We've just really, really fallen apart in the second half of the season. The next episode is going to be the end of season review. We'll look back on a pretty forgettable season, and we will talk about how we move forward from here. We have finished 8th. Scunthorpe won their game. It wouldn't have mattered. I guess that's a little bit of consolation. But we really should have made the playoffs. We really were in a position to finish the season with playoffs. Disappointing. I guess overall, considering our budget, the fact that we're semi-professional, the players that we've got, the fact that our players have declined over their 2-3 seasons that they've been with us, I guess we should kind of be satisfied with what we've achieved in our first season. But it is a bitter pill to swallow, it really is. How good is Charles Hagan of Bromley? He's alright. He's alright. So yes, that will be it for now. I am now going to spend, we are at the end of May, I'm going to spend June just going through as many under 23s players that are being released as possible. We will talk a little bit about it in the next episode. But we do have 5 players confirmed to come in. A lot of youngsters. They're probably not game changers. You can see they're all 17 or 18 years old. They are not necessarily game changers, but they are decent players for next season that are not going to cost the earth. But I am going to have to find the players that can come in for the majority of these guys and kind of change our fortunes for next season. I think if I just very quickly show you how I'm kind of thinking about next season, I think Sam Blair carries on. I think Gabadebo, I prefer not to have him still, but I think he can do a job. I think Isaac Smith is fine. I think Liam Gibbs is fine. I think that is kind of as far as we go. Maybe you could maybe make a case for Price and Hardy. I think they're starting to look more like squad players. I think we've had too many games where we haven't been able to depend on them. But again, if they're there, it's not the end of the world. But I think we are definitely looking at least 4 first team players to come into this squad. 4 players that have to be better than what we've had this season. It's going to be tough, but that is the job now, isn't it? I'm going to have to really get into that over the next couple of months and see if we can put together a team that is actually going to be capable of challenging for promotion next season. Yeah, the next episode is end of season review. We'll talk a little bit more about all of this. For now, thanks for watching. See you on the next one. Bye for now.